Imagine a child who goes to bed hungry tonight, not knowing where their next meal will come from tomorrow. This isn't happening in a faraway country, it's happening in our neighborhoods. Food insecurity is a serious issue in America, affecting millions of individuals every single day, and it requires urgent action from our community and policymakers, including ourselves. Food insecurity affects 1 in 8 Americans, and chances are someone you know is struggling to put food on the table as well. I have extensively researched food insecurity in America using studies, government reports, first-hand accounts. As someone who values health and wellness, this issue really resonates with me deeply. I will first discuss the problem of food insecurity in America, who it affects, and why it persists. Then I'll propose solutions that involve both policy changes and local actions that we can all participate in. The scope and the causes of food insecurity. Food insecurity really means just not having reliable access to enough nutrients through foods, just not having access to those nutrients to live a healthy lifestyle. Who's affected over 34 million Americans, including 9 million children, experience food insecurity every single year. Marginalized groups, including low-income families as well as seniors, are disproportionately impacted. And so why food insecurity persists? Economic inequality and the rising cost of living. Insufficient government aid programs such as SNAP and WIC, which often fall to meet recipients' full needs. It's not a perfect system. So here are just some of the current efforts and some of their limitations. So SNAP is the Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program. Provides food assistance to over 41 million people, yet benefits often don't last the entire month. Limited eligibility criteria excludes families just above the poverty line. So another thing is some charitable efforts. Food banks and pantries play a crucial role, but often rely on inconsistent donations. These programs cannot address systematic causes or meet the growing demand. Now that we understand the depth of the issue, let's discuss how we can solve it. Policy solutions. Advocate for expanded federal programs like increasing funding for school meal programs. Support legislation aimed at improving wages and affordable housing, which really directly affects food security. Some community-based solutions, volunteering, donating, local food banks, or even community gardens. There's an interesting program called Feeding Tampa Bay, and that's a food rescue program. That's really important. Another thing is to support local farmers, markets, and initiatives promoting food access, such as SNAP doubling programs. And so our role: start small, participate in food drives, farmers markets, and then maybe just advocate for change in your networks. Remember, addressing food insecurity requires collective action, and each of your contribution matters. So expanding on some of the SNAP benefits. Something to do would be to increase the monthly installments to better meet families' nutritional needs. Another thing would be to adjust income eligibility. It's a problem with the SNAP that should be solved. Tax incentives for food donations. Encourage businesses to donate their surplus food. This, with enhanced tax credits for this business, would make it worth it for everybody. Also reducing the food waste. So, strengthening school meal programs is another great option. Expanding weekend and summer meal initiatives to combat child hunger. And yeah, so investing in local food systems. Support urban agriculture and mobile markets to address food deserts. Programs like Doubling Up Food Bucks, Match SNAP, dollars spent at the farmers markets, improving access to fresh products. So the last thing would be community action. You can volunteer at food banks, like I said earlier, advocate for local policy changes, donate to organizations fighting hunger, such as Feeding America. Now, to wrap this up, let's review why this issue demands our attention and immediate action. As we've seen, food insecurity is a widespread problem, but it's one that we have the tools to combat. Food insecurity affects millions of Americans, and addressing it requires urgent action from policymakers and us and communities and all of our individuals. So we did explore the problem of food insecurity, its scope, and its causes. We discussed practical solutions at the policy and at the community levels. And so the next time you sit down for a meal, just remember that millions of Americans don't have the same privilege or luxury. Let's work together to ensure that no one in this country ever goes hungry.